And there you go. What's up, Posse members and public alike? This is the first time that I open up this benefit to everybody. I wanted to show you guys what goes on when you become a Posse member, what goes on behind the scenes. This is what I call What the FAQ Thursdays. On Wednesdays, I send out a post. It's a picture with a topic. And then in that post, you get to ask me whatever you want in the comment section. Reseller related or not, trust me, people ask me all kinds of shit. And then on Thursday, I talk about it, or I answer your questions or talk about your topics in depth. I do an unedited raw video like this, explaining in depth about or giving you answers so that you can really understand whatever it is that you're asking. Because a lot of the times, let's just say that you ask somebody online, right? And you ask through a comment and they'll give you an answer and it's like one sentence or two sentences, but maybe you have a lot of other questions. Well, what I'm trying to do is that I answer these questions in depth, talking about as much as I can so that it can really sink in either the idea or a specific thing that you're looking for. And you'll see what I'm talking about right now. But first, I do your questions. I answer all your questions, talk about your topics, and then I talk about my topic at the end. And this week's topic is, how well does marketing work, and should you be implementing it into your business more often? That is an excellent topic that everybody asks me about all the time because of marketing in eBay, marketing on Amazon, marketing in your brick and mortar, and so on and so forth. Stay until the end so you can hear that because it will help you make more money. I'm going to give you one good story about marketing and how marketing works well for your customers. And then a negative story about how if you don't do marketing well, if you don't understand it, if you don't understand your customer, it can kill your business. So stay until the end for that. But let's go to your questions. First question, Ed Dolores Miller, 6956 asks, do you file taxes and mid-year and end of year or just at the normal once a year? Well, first off, Dolores Miller is a Posse member. Thank you very much, Dolores. Welcome to the Posse. She became a Posse member a couple of weeks ago. But let me answer her question. I'm not going to answer it as a personal or as a person doing taxes because normally, like your own taxes for your home, you do them between January 31st to April 15th or whatever tax day is. I forget. So I'm going to answer them as an LLC. My business has two options for taxes. Option number one is send them in quarterly with no penalty. Option number two is send them once a year with a penalty. And the penalty is not that much. It's like tens of dollars, so it's not a big deal. But let me explain to you which one I use or which one I choose and why. I always choose the second one. I send them once a year only, and let me explain why. Let's just say that I have to send in $1,000 for easy math every quarter to the IRS. What else could I do with those $1,000 if I don't send it to them? Let's just say that they're charging me $10 in penalty, right? Okay, well, I'm going to be $10 out of pocket. You want to save money? Fine. But what could I do with those $1,000? What I can do is buy more product that I can typically flip within 30, 60, or 90 days to double my money. So I can turn my 1,000 into 2,000 in 2 or 3 months. Let's just say, for example, then next quarter comes around and I still have my $1,000 because I'm getting it back through sales, right? And then there's another $1,000 that I was supposed to send out. Now I have $2,000. Now I can buy $2,000 worth of product and then double that money to make $4,000 and so on and so forth. And it's a snowball. I do this because I want to have that cash available to me. That is the first and foremost reason because I am a businessman first and foremost. Secondly, I don't want some shitbags having that money so they can misspend it or steal it or use it for something stupid like sending it overseas or use it for idiotic things that I'm not okay with. So why would I give it to them when I can keep it myself? Simple. That's it. And disclaimer, I am not an accountant. I am not an attorney. I'm not telling you that that's what you should do. You need to get an accountant or an attorney, a tax attorney, and ask them what you should do. Every situation is different. And again, I'm not an accountant. I'm not an attorney. So don't hold me to that. And this is my disclaimer. God, I have to say it, and I hate that I have to say that. People are so weird sometimes. Next question. All right. What is STR? Oh, wait. It's at Maristar64. What is STR and how do you figure it out? Great. I have something for you on screen. Check it out. That is an equation that I got from, I mean, it's online because I didn't want to make it. But it's very simple. You get the number of items sold divided by the number of items available or listed times 100, and that gives you a percentage. It's very simple. And this works for eBay, Amazon, your personal business, for everything. This is just a way for you to understand how fast inventory is moving. Let me explain to you using this. You are going to look for this Starbucks cup on eBay, and eBay has 90-day comps. That means that the sales that you see there only go back 90 days. So you're looking at merchandise in a 90-day span. So whatever you look at sold and you look listed, you can't look at different timelines. You have to look at the same timeline. So the solds and the listed have to be within 90-day period or 6 months or 9 months or however you're looking at or whatever you're looking at. But in this case, let's do eBay. So 90 days. Let's just say that there are 50 sold. You check the counts, right? Oh, there's 50 sold. Awesome. How many are listed? How many are available out there in the market? Okay, so let's do the math so I can show you how STR works. If there are 50 sold, if there are 50 sold, you divide that by 100 that are available, and then you multiply that by 100 equals to 50%. That means that half of all inventory within that time period sold through. That's it. And let me be very specific about this. STR is by far the most important metric in your business, by far, because that will tell you how fast you're going to get your money back for whatever it is that you're spending on. So if you're spending on this, how fast are you going to get it back? That's what STR is. STR is definitely what you need to become more successful. If you want to sell faster and make more money faster, your STR needs to increase. Not go buy a bunch of products so you can have thousands of listings that don't move. That means nothing. Your STR is king, always. Now let me do it on the reverse. Let's just say that there were 100 sold divided by 50 available only times 100 is 200%. 200% STR is an excellent STR. That means that there are more items selling that there are available. That means that there's more demand that there is supply. And that is the best thing you can do. The higher the STR, the way better you'll be. So always pay attention to that. Always stick to a high STR if you want to continue to make money quickly. I hope that answers your question properly. Next question, at Class and Gaming Tips with Retro962 asks, do you see reselling as sustainable in the future? Oof, good one. With the cost of shipping going up slowly, eventually it may get to a point where reselling small dollar items won't cut it anymore, and not many will invest in big ticket items to keep at it. Excellent question. I see where you're coming from with the second point that you made there with the comment, but I have something for that. So, do you see reselling as sustainable in the future? First of all, as far back as we know, as far back as we can go, reselling has been around since forever, since humans were here. Because if you think about it, if I make something, if I make this fly swatter, let's just say, for example, there was a fly in here. This is my mom's favorite chingazo tool, or used to be. Let's just say that I made this fly swatter and then I sell it to somebody. And then they don't want it anymore. They can sell it to somebody else. So reselling has been around forever. Will this go away? No. It will never go away. Reselling is forever because unless we destroy all goods, they're going to be around and somebody will pick them up and somebody else will want them. You just have to find that person that wants said item. That's it. So no, it will never go away. Now, will it go away the way that we're doing now? I don't know if it's going to go away, but it's going to get harder for sure, and you're going to have to navigate that. This is why you come to channels like this, to understand how to do this, right? And this is why I always say, like, if you want to dig deeper and you want more information and you want to get more personalized service, you can always become a Posse member by clicking the join button down below. That's what this is all about. But okay, let's talk about this. With the cost of shipping going up slowly, eventually it may get to a point where selling small dollar items won't cut it anymore. Okay, well, I understand where you're cutting from, but no. Markets always fix themselves. If the cost of shipping is getting higher, then the prices have to go higher. And if I know that people are going to say, well, some people are still selling it at low dollar, and I have to beat them. So therefore, we're racing to the bottom. Okay, fine. I get that. Eventually, though, that item will stop making money because nobody's going to make money. If the USPS, UPS, FedEx, if all the shippers keep going up, the prices have to go up. And if these people that are selling it stay down here, eventually they're not going to make any money. So that item won't make anything at all. So now at that point, you have two choices. Number one, you can keep not making money and just working for free. Or number two, you can find a different product. And while you're finding a different product, eventually what's going to happen is that those items that didn't sell anymore because there is no more margin, they will eventually come back with a higher price. People will want them again. And then we start the cycle all over again. I've seen it happen so many times. It's happened to me before with products that I put up on Amazon. I was doing great with them. And of course, here comes a shit bag. Instead of like, let's all make money at a $60 price point, $50 price point. No, I'm going to put it at 40. And then the next shit bag comes, I'm going to put it at 35 and 30 and 25. And look, I say shit bag and I sound angry, and I'm not angry. Because look, capitalism, this is what it's for. You know what? If you're not willing to lose $5, but I'm going to win. And that's okay. I understand competition. But what boggles the mind is that some people are so fucking greedy that when they think, they think like this. You know what? I don't want everybody to make money. I don't want to sell it at 60 like everyone else. I want to be the only one to make money. Instead of sharing the entire pie, which there's more than enough of, they want to be the only ones. And I talk about this too all the time in my videos that, in order to have a winning attitude, you have to be number one. I get it. But at a certain point, when it comes to greed and stuff, like we can share this entire pie. So that's why when there's a product, if it's selling consistently at a certain price, why would you go below market? So what I do now, I used to do the same thing and race to the bottom because, I'm never going to sell it. I'm never going to sell it. Once I got older and my business started to grow, guess what? I got smarter. And I said, nah, fuck them. Let those guys sell through. No problem. Let them sell through. I'm not going to make any sales for 3 months. No problem. And guess what happened in 3 months where they didn't have any more product and they made shit margins? I get back to my great 100, 200% margin and I'm selling through again. And then more shit bags come, it goes down again and back and forth. That's it. That's what happens. And I hope that answered your question. So there will always be reselling. When I'm talking about the smaller dollar items, okay, wait, you also said smaller dollar items won't cut it anymore. Yeah, smaller dollar items are harder and harder to get. If you notice, there's Dollar Tree, used to be $1, now it's like $3 tree. And prices move, but you just need to adjust with the market accordingly and understand that markets always fix themselves. This is why capitalism is by far still the best way that we can do business. It is. There's a lot of greed for sure, and there's a lot of bad things that come from it, of course, but it's still the best way that we know on how to do business. Next question, at JH the Reluctant says, what are your plans for Thanksgiving? Ooh, this is a good one. I love this. I love when we talk about something other than just making money. My plans for Thanksgiving are this. If you guys have ever seen, there's a show on Netflix called The Final Table. And I have to say it like that, by the way. It's my girl and I have a thing. That's how I say it. Anytime that it comes out of my mouth, that's how I have to say it. In that show, there is these top chefs, and I mean, you're talking about the best in the world. That's why it was such a big hit. This top chef went and they made, it's an Australian chef. His name is Mark Best. Him and the other chef that was with him in partners, they made a Thanksgiving burger. It's turkey, stuffing, inside or in the middle has cranberry, stuffing, turkey, all breaded, all fried up with fried green beans, turkey skin, which I'm not going to do skin, I'm going to do bacon, and it beautifully plated. I was like, bro, I'm going to have to do that shit. This year, I'm not having a lot of people over. It's just probably going to be my girl and I. My parents are going to be spending it 4 hours away from here with my other two brothers, and we just can't meet up because I have business and my girl has to work. So it just happened that way. So I'm going to do it here. And that's what I'm doing. Well, I'm also making some pies, and it's just going to be great. And I'm going to be drinking all day. And that day, I'm only going to work out And I'm going to be doing my listings really early in the morning and anything else that I have to do super early so that I can just spend it doing anything that I want, which is going to be fun. Oh, and spend time with my doggos. That's going to be it. I love it. Next question. At Lucy the Dog, are you doing a Black Friday discount? If you are, how much? Ooh, excellent. Shit, this is one of the ones that I've actually had this question before, and I did a whole video on this, and it was an interesting video. I don't do a lot of discounts anymore because last year, if you guys don't know, I think I only shared this with the Posse members in another video, but last year I lost tens of thousands of dollars through a 3-month span of putting my store on sale all the time. For whatever reason, no sales were coming. And guess what? As soon as I stopped that test, the sales shot way back up. And I'm not the only one. There's a few other people that told me this is what's happening. And why is it that when I have no sales, my sales shoot back up? And I was like, damn, so something's going on there. I'm not sure. I can't even tell you what's going on. But I'll tell you that I am doing a sale, but I'm not going to do it like before. It's going to be a very small portion of the store, and it's going to be 30% off. 30% off is a decent discount, and it's not going to be just a shit product. I'm going to pick certain product from the store, 30% off, and then that's going to be just as a regular sale event as a discount. So you don't need a coupon, you don't need anything. You just click and that's it, right? I'm also going to put a coupon for separate product that gives a 40% off. And that's going to be clothing because I'm getting more and more and I don't want to have a lot of clothes. So I'm going to give 40% off and that's going to be a coupon. So whoever wants to use it can use that. Those are the only 2 things that I'm running. And for those of you that want to run a discount and think, well, let me look at my margins of these and let me look at my margins. And it's because I don't want to lose money. So I can't give a big discount. You need to stop doing that. Don't worry. Look, if you lose money, who cares? If you lose a little bit of money, if you're like, well, I don't want to move these products, I don't want to discount them, it doesn't matter. When you get really attached to your product that way, that's when you start losing. You stop being successful because you're more attached to the damn product than it is to running your business. And sometimes you're like, I'm losing money. Well, maybe you're losing out on the margins. Maybe you're losing some of the money. Fine. But you're also recouping a lot of cash in a very short amount of time so that you can reinvest it into higher STR products or into the next thing. So think about it that way. Be positive and think about it that way. So don't look at exactly what you need to do. Like for me, I'm not going to pick certain clothing. I'm just going to pick a chunk and I don't give a shit what it is. Boom, there. You want it? Buy it. Whatever it is. So I'm trying to give you some advice that I've seen a lot of people do it like, oh, nope, because that one is going to lose me money. I can't lose money. I can never lose money. Like, really, bro? Come on, man. This is why, like, when you go to Walmart and Target, they have 70% off, 80% off. You don't think they're losing money? Hell yeah, but they don't give a shit because they're making it somewhere else. So grab some of that cash flow back and use it for something else. Next question, at Ozzy.Castillo asks, what are the top items needed for someone who is just starting to sell online? Wow, that is a loaded question. Well, we talked about STR earlier. Top items, the high STR items will always sell fast because the sell-through rate is fast. But let me give you 2 categories. And one of them is top items. The other one, you'll see what I'm talking about. Electronics, consumer electronics is a very hot category always. People want the next gadget. People want things like me. Look, I just bought this. I mean, I don't just buy things to buy things. I bought this because I needed to. I needed to use it for my business, to my YouTube channel. But look, this thing, this is a phone holder. It's a tabletop phone holder for when I'm shooting my videos. So that's one. This is why I do consumer electronics and I recommend it. People are always looking for stuff. The second one is clothing. And clothing, I know that some of you are going to say, oh, it sucks. The margins are real small. Yes, but the reason I say clothing is that for a beginner, there's so much of it that you can go, as long as you have high STR and you're very specific in when you pick up, you can make money. I make money, and I was totally against clothing for a long time. I never picked it up because I hate it. To this day, I hate selling it. But I sell it because my business loves it. Doesn't matter what I want. It's my business makes money with it. So, You know what? You deal with it and you make yourself happy some way, somehow. So those are the two categories. I'm going to go back to, you got to have a high STR. If you don't have a high STR, then you shit out of luck and you're going to be in trouble. Those were all the questions that were sent in, guys. Thank you very much for sending them in. Now let me talk about my topic. Again, topic: how well does marketing work, and should you be implementing it into your business more often? This is an excellent one. And let me show you something. This is why the post had this picture on there. Look at that. That is a legit bonsai tree. It's 3 years old. I just got it a couple of days ago, and I've been wanting to do this for a very long time. Sorry, I'm going to have to put it away because I can't see. I've been wanting to have a bonsai for a very long time. You know what? I can put it in the back here. And let me explain why. Bonsai trees are, first off, they require a lot of work. They require a lot of patience, and they look amazing. If you guys remember from my old videos, I had a bonsai Lego tree behind me because I can never find one, and somebody to really get me, like to really sell it to me, to be like, oh man, bonsai trees are the best. And let me explain to you how that happened and how it relates to marketing. I was driving down the road. I was listening to music, and then in the distance, I see a van. It's a white van, like a pedo van. Like a white van, just a van. And then it said bonsai on the side. And I was like, shit. That's all it said. No phone number, no nothing. It just said bonsai. So what did I do? I stopped. I freaking broke hard because I was almost going to pass it. And then I just turned off real quick, and it was on the side of the road. And I stopped. The gentleman, it was a very nice man. He was a legit, I think he was Korean. He was an actual Korean man because his accent was very thick, so it was kind of hard for me to ask him questions and to communicate, but we did what we could. He had a whole bunch of them, and he sold them anywhere from $250 for like one that he's been carrying for 28 years. I was like, God, 28 years. Long time. And I said, no, man, I don't want something that's already 20 years old. I said, no, I want something that's fresh and new so I can grow it for the next 40, 50 years or however long I live. So that one is 3 years old. That's one of the smallest ones that he had. And I said, hey, how often are you here? He said, well, this is the first time, but it's been good for me. It's been good for me all day. He sold quite a few. And I said, well, what do you attribute that to? He said, just parking the van there, people see bonsai and they stopped. And while I was there, another dude stops and he's like, pulls off real quick. He picks one like that. He pays and he takes off. And the gentleman was ready with a credit card machine. He had everything. He was ready to go. And I said, good for you, bro. And I told him the only reason I stopped was because of that sign. And let me tell you guys why this is so important. Marketing brings back memories, or brings back, like, it reminds you that you need stuff, that you want things. I've been wanting a bonsai for years, and then I just forgot about it. And guess what? I saw that guy at the side of the road, and there I go, and I stopped because he had a sign. And I'm telling you guys this because a lot of you fight you fight so much against ads on eBay. I don't do promoted listings. I don't never do promoted listings. I listen to all these YouTubers and they say that you don't need to do promoted listings. Okay. I can guarantee you that if you don't do promoted listings, you're going to sell less than somebody else that does. And how do I know that? Because this is pay to play now. eBay is forcing it on you essentially. But if you're choosing to be on eBay, then you need to play by the rules. And you can still sell and you're gonna make decent money. And if you have high STR products, like say iPhones, you're gonna sell them fast, fine. But if you have other items that don't sell super fast, that don't have the highest STR, guess what? You should be promoting your items. What percentage? That's totally up to you. There's a whole bunch of different ones. I'll give you my base. 3% base, 5% for shoes and hats-ish, 10% for clothing, and I don't really go up much than that. Or more than that. That's it. Marketing works. So what is eBay doing? They're marketing your product more to the customer. So you get more money. You get more sales. It's not rocket science. Marketing works. Now, let me explain marketing in a different way. Check out the screen. Who has seen this in the last couple of days? Jaguar. The first story that I told you was a positive story of how you need to use marketing and why it works. This is a negative story about a moron making a horrible decision about a company. Let me explain this. Jaguar, the left side, the white logo, that is an amazing logo that says, Jaguar, because they're beautiful cars, they're fast, they're meant to like, rawr. I don't know, I can't explain it. It feels good. Even the font, it feels fast. It feels like if you're on a track. It feels amazing. And then look at the other one. So, what they call clean. And it's like the other one was just as clean. I don't understand. First of all, it is the dumbest font ever. Second of all, during the transition from the old logo to the new one, if you guys go and watch the video or watch the video, the presentation, the marketing, everything that they did, not one time did they ever show a car. Not one time did they talk about the customers that buy these cars. Who is the customer that buys that car? They were more interested about DEI and all that stupid shit that means zero. They were more interested in shoving things like that down your throat than saying, who is this brand? Because it's a new CEO. Who is this brand? What are we going to do with it? Who is the customer? What do we know about our customer? They could give two shits about the customer. This is why I always say, you have to know your customer. If you're selling clothing, who are you selling to? I'll give you an example about clothing. Let me take this off the screen. Let me give you an example of clothing. I don't sell women's clothing. I don't. I sell very little. I'm not going to say not 100%, but I sell very little. Out of 1,000 items, let's just say I've sold 10. And I'll explain to you why I don't sell women's clothing. First of all, I don't know that customer. I don't know what women really want, what they're looking for in clothing, and I don't want to know. Out of the last 15 returns, and out of the last 15, let's just say 10 neutral or negative feedbacks, 90% of them have been female. For me, in my business, they are just too picky, and I don't want to deal with that shit. I just don't. I buy, first of all, I know men's clothing because I am a man, and I know what men, for the most part, are looking for. We think very similarly, obviously, because we're all men. So I sell more to men because I understand it. And also, very rarely do I get complaints, neutral feedback, or negative feedback from a man. That's just the facts. And whether you like it or not, I'm just sharing my story and what happens with me and my business. So I don't sell women's clothing. I just don't. It sucks and I hate it and I don't want to do it. In fact, today I got a return and I got a negative feedback. You guys can go read it on my page if you want to read it. It's hilarious. And she was lying because I got the merchandise back. First of all, she said something about it had a smell. And first of all, I always deodorize everything and it didn't have a smell. I just got it back. It doesn't smell like anything. They were just lying. They were just angry about something and they took it out of my business. And that's okay. You know what? Fine, whatever. I don't care. Like, it's not going to bother me to where it's going to hurt my business. But it's like, dude, why would you do that? Like, why are you doing that? I don't understand. And for the most part, that has never happened to me with men's clothing. It just hasn't. So there you go. The positive story and the negative story. Be careful when you are advertising. Let's just say that it's not just eBay. You're advertising on Amazon, which gives you lifestyle pages. So you're advertising a different way. Know the customer. Make sure that you understand who they are so that you can pinpoint what you're going to show them and then advertise to that. If you have a brick and mortar store, the same thing. And signs like the ones that I just told you, the guy had a sign that says bonsai. Old school guerrilla marketing like that works. It's technically not guerrilla marketing. Guerrilla is more like when you give out flyers and stuff, but it sort of is because he's on the side of the road and it worked. He got 2 sales while I was there. And he said that he was doing great that day. And I said, man, next time that I see you, because I got his info, I have his phone number. So I'm going to see how I can help him drive business to there. And maybe I can shoot a video on something like that, because it was just hella interesting. Super cool dude, very intelligent man. And you know, the old school ways work too, guys. It's not just all about online and all about marketing just online. Old school guerrilla marketing works too. And that's it, everybody. This is how the What the FAQ Thursdays videos work. You guys get to send in questions on Wednesday, and then I answer them in depth on Thursdays. I talk about a bunch of other things, and we just have fun. That's it. If you are interested in joining the Posse with Resellutions, click the join button down below. I have 3 levels. The first level can cost you less than gas station coffee. It's only $3. Second level is $5, and the third level is $25 a month. That means the third level is the highest one, and that one I get to, if you want, I get to go over your store. I look at your store, what is going on, what is not going on. Let's look at your STRs. Let's look at your pictures. Let's look at the type of merchandise you're buying. Do you have issues? All that. You get me for 2 times a month for 2 hours on a live, and you get to ask whatever questions you want. We get to do all that and hopefully help you make more money. That's it, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me today for another What the FAQ Thursdays. Peace. Oh, and cheers. Woohoo. See you guys next week. Let's end this.